Just a few moments. All right. We're going to be looking at longer term projections and, of course, short term projections. Short term projections here, we mean that is there momentum on the short and intermediate term charts to take us to the long term projections or to take us to whichever projections that will be shown short term. Long term projections, of course, are what we expect the market to ultimately reach. All right, so I'm looking at the 4 hour chart. I'm looking at the labels here. So currently there is an up leg, there is an uptrend. So we expect that the market is moving higher, and therefore we're going to be using labels that are pointing to higher continuation. The ones that show an Elliott structure are shown here: 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Right, so I'm looking at the 1 and the 2. I'm looking at the 3 and the 4. Market right now is doing the 5. And of course, projection of that 5, if this is correct, will be a measure of the fib extension out of leg 2 to leg 3. Right, this shows here on this fibs to the right out of that level 2 all the way to 100%. This one. And gives me at least $34.50, gives me $35.60. These are the more likely, and this is because I'm not sure they are in the vicinity of, we'll check, of the internal pivots, but these are really the most likely. Same as 1 and a 2, 3, 4, bounced out of level 1, very clear bounce. And therefore, we're going to be seeing $34.50. We're going to be seeing longer term. We'll take this now to a smaller 1 hour and 30-minute chart to project if we are going to be seeing these levels 34.50 and 35.60 in the short term. Uh, in the short term. In the you can see also the cycle translation, meaning I have a bounce out of leg 4 here on top of a level 1, and internally I'm seeing something like a 1 and a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. We have transcend, we have and a 5. Of course, there are two 5s, one in white, green. That 5 in green must be 5 swings, 1 and a 2, 3, 4, and a 5. I was just saying that level 4 transcends, falls below level 1, but it bounces out of a level B. And in this case, we can consider that level 5 is going to truncate towards level 3. And if it does truncate towards level 3, we're moving inside of an ending diagonal. And like at that 3, we have a high degree A, we have a high degree B. B can be here, or can be here, doesn't really matter. uh, and we're still going to get a high degree C, right? So uh, we can consider that this high degree C is made up of a 1 and a 2, and then internal 1 and a 2, internal 3, internal 4, internal 5, a 3. 4 bounces out of that internal number 1. 3 is there, 4 is there, and we are going to get a 5, which is an ending diagonal. That is all. All right, let's take this now to the next relevant projection is from bottom of that internal 2 to the 3, $36.74, quite high, right? But at least if there's a truncation, we're going to see $35 or $34.82. Truncation means 5 will meet with. But in an ending diagonal, we get, of course, $36.70, $36.30, very likely. All right, so this is the long term. Let's now take a look at the short term, right? In order to evaluate the such levels, you want to segregate leg 5 very strongly. And so we're going to move on now to leg 5. So that could be an A, B, and a C, 5 swing C. It could be a 1 and a 2, because we have some negativity here. And a 3. 3 has done an internal 1 and 2, internal 3 and a 4, and a 5. I'm only showing 3 and 4 because we don't really need 1 and 2, but we have confirmed, we have definitely confirmed that this is a 1 and a 2 because the momentum intention here is higher than leg 4. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're doing 5. Right? Okay, so we move this to the 7, or this is the end of 4, and at that point we're going to be seeing the 5 in green, and that 5 in green is down until the small levels. We find this is negative, 1 and 2, internal 1 and 2, internal 3, internal 4, internal 5, and even here the internal levels. So I can now go to smaller levels, begin to take my projection, first projection. All right, I will still do the internals, but I suppose we have on 1 and 2, internal 1 and 2, 3, 4, to get in 5. So I will want to project from internal 2 to internal 3 to get internal 5. I'm using the projection from the top of the spine to the bottom of the spine. Takes me to $33.60, $34. Probably $34 is the most likely short-term projection to receive. Like we're showing on the power charts, you can go higher if you wish to go higher. But assuming you don't want to wish to go higher, the best for an entry at $33.09 or $33.10 is to take profit at $34.05. We'll check now on the shorter term frames whether this matches internal resistances on on the minutes time frame, on the daily, 15 minutes, and on the 30 minutes. So let's take it now gradually to smaller structures. I'm looking at 1 hour. Bear with us a second. So this is correct. We have, as of that point, this is end of 4, but we have an AB and we're getting a C. And then there's an A and a B and a 1 and a 2, internal 1 and 2 into C, 3, 4 into C, with fractals between 1 and 4. This is 5. Like 3 into higher degree 5. We now can take this to the minutes to segregate the internals, but it shows a 1 and a 2, 3, 4, and we're just getting a 5. So let's take it to smaller frames. So this becomes a high degree 1 at that point, and we have 5 swings. We're not yet done in 5. The best projection is short term, of course, is bottom of leg 2 to top of leg 3. We're doing the 5. That 5 has done 1 and 2, 3, 4. Cannot fall below that level, and is going to be the. Let's insert the pivots. So again, you focus on the structure, that's all, for trading. And so 1 and 2, 3, 4, continuation, definitely, because we have even extension. This is a leg 2, and this is a higher indentation. So there's an extension into this 5. Meaning this is not a 3, this is a 1 and a 2, then there's something like an internal 1, 2, internal 3, 4, internal 5, another 4, and then we get another 5. I would go for $33.69, $33.70. The least is $33.45. Market is now $33.10. It is possible to see resistance too this week at $34.40, but the most likely is $33.80, $33.90. You want to take 50%, take target at 50%. It's 50% between resistance 2 and resistance 1 showing here. 50% between resistance 2 and resistance 1 is 200%. 200% projection from this leg. And this leg is extending. Like I'm saying, we had a bounce higher than the trigger. So this is extending. And therefore we do 200%, $33.70, $33.80, maybe even $33.90. Technically, it's possible to see $34, but we would always want to look at something that is attainable, that has a high percentage of getting hit as a target. So it has a high percentage of getting hit as a target. It's 200%, $33.70, $33.75. So for entry at $33.10, you want to take it to $33.70, and you want to have a stop loss, if you like, at $32.60. So for $33, because the market should not fall, or at least the hedge at $32.60, the market should not fall below this bounce. Let us bounce at that point. Market should not retract below this. $33.65 is also possible. $32.65 is also possible as a stop loss.